I've came across videos, lives, and posts on how people feel like men and masculinity is performative. So I started to do a little thinking myself and just observing from my experiences how emotions are handled with men. So from what I've gathered, the way that men that I've experienced handle their emotions, they're internalizers. When you're an internalizer, there's no immediate action for your emotions. It just goes within and then it intensifies. And that causes you to feel your feelings and your emotions very deeply. Now, when the internalizer finally showcases their emotions, they come out very in a form of overly sensitive or overly emotional. When they finally do showcase, it will be considered over emotional or overly sensitive. Now I want to take it back to childhood with male children. Male children are forced, from what I have observed, to suck it up, to internalize it, to hold the reaction, to keep it, hold it, say nothing about it, do nothing about it. They're forced to internalize their emotions and their feelings. Now, what punishment looks like for the internalizer is rejection, contentment, like held in contempt, and being mocked. For an internalizer, that's what it looks like. The punishment looks like that. Now, when I speak on rejection, we all know that it's a saying out there that men cannot handle rejection. They don't do very well with rejection. Now, I find that to be true, that they don't do well with rejection. Why I find that to be true is because that's all they have ever dealt with is rejection, being held in contentment, and being mocked from little. Now, while a male child will experience physical punishment, they can take a hit. They can take it. I'm not saying it's okay, but all right, I can take a hit. I can take a little tussle. It affects them as well, but they're like, okay, I can take it. I can take a hit. However, that rejection that they feel hurts more. That mockery, that grudge, that coldness that they get as children, it hurts more than a hit. Because a boy, they can go outside, fight each other, fall down. That's nothing. But that rejection that little male child felt is tough. That's why I feel when they become grown men, they don't handle rejection too well. Now, where the masculine is performative and men are performative, going back to what I was speaking on originally, comes from, for me, is a learned behavior of I just have to show up, I have to be helpful, and I have to hide my needs. Therefore, it's causing them to be performative. Now, why I feel like a lot of people think that the female child, the woman, yearns or needs deep connection, I think it's the male. I personally think it's the male child that needs deep connection. They yearn for deep connection because you hear that men are painfully lonely. Physically, they're not. Emotionally, they are. Internally, they are. In these times, men are receiving the message, as I keep seeing on social media and different things like that, that their nature in a whole is the problem. Just them in a whole is a problem. That same thing, that same statement, and how I feel and they feel when they hear that they're just the problem, is what they've been dealing with. A lot of them have been dealing with their whole life. That them in a whole is just a problem. I also see a lot of posts and lives and things that, why do men hate women? I don't think that they just hate us. I think that they feel betrayed by us. Although you meet them and you've done nothing to them, they came through our womb, our portal, the female womb. They were most likely raised with the female or around the females. And this is the treatment that they have received from the female since they can remember, since being a male child. So when they grow up and they start to deal with women romantically, there is an underlying problem there that has nothing to do with the woman herself, but the woman species, because of what he has endured from a woman since before time. And to end my rambling, those are just some thoughts that I have. I feel it's kind of all over the place, but if you can pick it up, kudos to you.